This is the most beautiful place that you can be in Canada right now. I may be slightly partial because I live in this area, but trust me, as a Canadian who has traveled all across this beautiful country, this is the place that you want to visit at this time of year. For context, it's October 3rd.
On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was.
It's October 3rd.
In this video, I thought that I would create a mini Canadian travel guide for anyone who is interested in visiting Canada but isn't quite sure where to go and when to go. If you're new here, my name is Emma. I'm a Canadian wellness enthusiast, ex-flight attendant, entrepreneur, and avid traveler. I have visited almost 50 countries, and on this channel, I like sharing my travel tips and hacks, itineraries for places I've been, and a perspective on how I experience the world through my lens. This channel is for you if you want to explore more of this beautiful planet, have an interest for biohacking, longevity, or if you too are an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur with the hopes and dreams of living a passion-based life of alignment with the freedom to go where you want, when you want. So if you are planning a trip to Canada this year, or if you're planning a trip to Canada in the near future, this video is for you. Likely some spots that are high on your list are places like Banff, Whistler, Calgary, Vancouver, all of those West Coast areas and cities, which absolutely should be on your list. But if you've never been to Canada, you need to understand that our country is absolutely massive, and it's really hard to see it all in a short period of time. Like I said, Canada is a really big country. It's made up of 10 provinces and stretches almost 5,000 miles wide. If you have 1 week to come to Canada, I would stick to one city to really get the most out of it, maybe 2 max. If you are coming for 2 weeks, you could probably push it to 3, maybe 4 cities. And if you're coming for a month, you could even potentially see multiple provinces. It all depends on what your interests are. Absolutely, the West Coast is stunning, like easily the most jaw-dropping views that you can experience in Canada and arguably the world. But a lot of people come here and skip the eastern part of this country, which is also absolutely stunning. And in my opinion, is a very quintessential Canadian experience. Depending on the time of year you're visiting and where you can most directly and easily catch a flight into, I would recommend visiting Gatineau, Quebec during the fall season. Specifically right now, I'm in the Wakefield, Chelsea area, which is actually where I live. I just recently moved here August 1st, and the reason why I moved here is because it is literally one of my favorite parts of Canada. In my opinion, the most beautiful place to be in Canada right now is the mountains of Quebec, while the leaves are changing and the autumn season is really starting to roll in. It's like perfect sweater weather. The fall colors completely transform the landscape. Small local farms are fully stocked on all the fresh veg, apples, and flowers are still in bloom. This time of year is not too hot, not too cold. We're hiking in Gatineau Park or biking the trails to connect with nature in Canada's backyard is unmatched anywhere else in the country during these precious, colorful weeks. Chelsea, Quebec has amazing variety of local artisan, the Nordic Spa, which is a world-class outdoor nature spa. It is seriously insane and you cannot miss it if you are visiting this area. The backdrop is the Gatineau Mountains, where there is an endless supply of trails to walk, hike, or bike, waterfalls, and so much more. There are farmers markets every weekend, both in Chelsea and the neighboring village of Wakefield. I kind of live right in the middle of the two, and you'll have to be the judge of which one is better. Which one was better, Chelsea Market or Wakefield Market?
Next question.
The Chelsea Market fell kind of flat. I'm surprised of how little there was there, but we did have an epic honey tasting. This area is filled with the most cozy bakeries and perfect Canadian culture coffee shops. Everyone is just in a good mood, living life and enjoying the raw beauty of nature. Another reason why I love Quebec is because there's just a certain French-Canadian charm that you can't experience anywhere else in the world. It truly is so unique. Now, if you want to add some other cities during your trip to this region, I would recommend staying local. So you want to make sure that you are flying into either Ottawa Airport, that's that's Yao, or into Montreal, Yule, which has a lot more international flights, and the distance between Ottawa and Montreal is about 2 to 2.5 hours. These are two cities that I definitely recommend that you visit and check out. Montreal is so totally different, and Ottawa is our nation's capital, and there is a lot of cool stuff to see and do here. And then Chelsea, Quebec, where I am right now, is about 30 minutes, not even outside of downtown Ottawa. So you can really hit all of these fantastic cities in a short period of time. Other mentionable cities are Toronto, which is still quite far, but I guess relatively speaking in Canada, it's close, still being about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive from Ottawa. Again, you could totally fly into Toronto and then drive or train or bus to Ottawa, or even Montreal. Mind you, if you go to Quebec City any time of year, it is so magical. The winter is amazing. The skiing, the snowboarding is just, it's world class. It really is. Obviously, Banff and Whistler and other parts of the West Coast are pretty unmatched, but there's just a certain something about this part of the world that I think is really special. Quebec City has a really European vibe with restaurants, shopping, and the famous Chateau Frontenac, which you absolutely have to stay in. It's like an old castle on the water, and it is just so unique. I stayed there once a few years ago, and it was one of my favorite trips. And I was like, I haven't even left the country and I'm having the best time. We actually have two of our best friends that are visiting from Toronto, and they have never been to Chelsea or Wakefield before. So I'm really excited to spend time with them this weekend and show them all of the things. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to make this video since I'm going to be playing tour guide for them, so you guys can come along with us too. Having a car when visiting Canada is definitely essential. We drove around to local farmers markets. This is Britt buying a freaking cow tongue because she is insane. We walked around Wakefield, just checked out the boardwalk and shopped some local artisanal sellers with some amazing goods, organic veg. Literally one of my favorite things about this area is just all of the farmers that exist in our backyard. Since I was already making this video, naturally I had the perfect itinerary fully dialed in, which involved some incredible fall kayaking. This was so much fun first thing in the morning. We did some hiking and even visited a full-blown alpaca farm, which I learned is 4 minutes down the road. Are you kidding me? There's a little baby. Okay, not to be dramatic, but this is the cutest thing ever. I'm screaming. Guys, is this a highlight or what? Hi, buddy. Hi. What's up, little buddy? Anyways, I hope that this video has inspired you to visit Canada someday, or at least help you narrow down the best spots to visit when. If there are other cities that you'd like to know about or anything that you'd like to see more from me on this channel, please let me know in the comments down below. Or if you think that I missed anything that I should be recommending, I also would love to hear it. Anyways, I do plan on dropping regular videos here on my channel about places I've been and other itineraries for you to kind of adopt and take on yourself. Even though my traveling is on a little bit of a pause right now as I've moved into my new home, I will be traveling next month and during the winter, so make sure that you're subscribed to see more of my adventures and tricks and tips that I will be sharing with you here on my channel. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.